I think we're live.
We are live.
Okay, cool. So let's start. Yeah, I mean, do you want to like introduce like how we're gonna set this up, Nate? I mean, just
Yeah,
to
sure.
go. Okay, go.
So, all right. So I'm Nathan Nelson. With me, we've got Aaron Draper. Aaron and I have been friends for a very long time, and we have had hundreds of conversations together. And
At
one of
least
the conversations we had,
probably
what's
more.
that?
Probably more than that.
Thousands of
Hun,
conversations,
hun, well,
probably.
you said
Actually,
hundreds,
that's
and I
true.
think we've known
I
each
said
other for like
hundreds. I was trying to
20
be
years.
conservative.
Okay, yeah, no, I
Fair.
mean, probably
Okay.
quite a
Yeah.
few.
No, we've been friends for a very, very long time. Help me out. Over 30 years.
What? How old were you when we met?
Let's say
I was
28. We'll say 28
20-ish,
years just to
20-ish.
call it,
Okay,
be
right on.
safe.
Sounds good.
Yeah. All
Yeah.
right. Anyway, so we have all these conversations together. We talk about everything: religion, politics, friendships, dumb things. And we just thought
Yeah,
that
that's
the conversations were stimulating, exciting enough that, man, everybody else is going to want to hear them too. We've heard ourselves talking for so long. It's time for everybody else to hear us talking now too. So
and
anyway, so yeah, so I'm Nelson. That's Aaron. Go ahead. What's
that
up,
could be
Aaron?
our mistake also. We could be thinking that we're super interesting, probably like most people our age, right? That we're super
Yeah.
interesting. People have so much to learn from us, or we're so witty and we have such thoughtful conversations. Um, Not sure about that. We'll see how that goes. We think
I
our
know
conversations are super interesting, but I mean,
they're crazy interesting. But I was coming up
to
to
me,
so I'm on work travel right now, so I was coming up to my hotel room, and the thought occurred to me that this might be just a midlife crisis podcast.
oh, so we're like a one-off. We just express our crisis here, share it with everyone, and
No,
then
more like no, like we've only got a few years left to live, so we got to do
oh,
something.
well,
Let's
that's
do a
accurate.
podcast.
That's totally accurate, though. I mean,
Yeah,
dude, like for the way everything's going, I mean, don't you have asthma still?
it's terrible.
Right, so do I. I mean, so yeah, we're non-breathers. We're like we struggle with
Yeah,
air breathing. So I think I'm not sure how
yeah.
much longer we have anyway. But we've got some stuff going on that might make our sojourn here shorter than average. I don't know if it's a midlife
It's
crisis though,
not good.
honestly. Dude, I think we just think that there's like ways to converse and talk about like with all the like the people hating each other for having a different opinion today, I think it's cool to like have different opinions, talk about different stuff, and show that you can. At the end of the day, you can still be friends, right? Like, or at the end of the podcast or the show, hopefully we can still be friends, whatever it may
That's
be. I
the
think I think that's sort of
that's
like
the stupidest thing
a
I've
big
ever
deal.
heard.
Same. I mean, right? I mean, yeah, the status quo is probably a little different, but I think we're gonna now that Nate sort of talked a little bit about like what our show's about or what like where we're from a little bit or what we're sort of thinking about in terms of this episode, we know that this isn't going to be super interesting probably for most of you. And we sure as heck probably know that this isn't the one you're like searching for and wanting to like watch. We're hoping this provides like context and a little bit of like biographical information on us. So if you're watching an episode further on that you're like, oh my gosh, this was super compelling. What made these guys so cool? You can look back to this episode and maybe get a little bit about like information about us. Nate being cool, me being sub cool. Um, but yeah, so we're gonna
Mm.
trade this first little introductions of both of us because we know this kind of stuff is boring. Um, I mean, we know each other and we're bored of we know all these answers and stuff already, but we're gonna try speed dating, and it's gonna be literally like I'm gonna ask him questions, he's gonna ask me questions, and it's like we're including you guys on our first date, right? So things that maybe you would come up on a first date, that's what we're gonna roll with here. So yeah, Nate, go.
Okay, lightning round, right? So,
Wait, wouldn't you first ask me my
we've
name? Or
yeah,
we
I
already,
got
oh,
your
you
name. We
already said
said
my name. Okay, cool. So
yeah,
next,
yeah.
what would you
Aaron
ask next?
Draper,
Yeah.
meet the world, world meet Aaron Draper.
Hello, everybody.
Um, yeah. So, all right. So, first question for you, Aaron. Tell me about the town you were born in and describe it to me.
Ooh, so town I was born or town I was raised? Because I don't remember my birth.
I'll tell you what. Let's do town you were raised in.
Okay, gotcha.
That
Because
makes
that
more
has more
sense.
memories. Okay, yeah. So,
Yep.
born in Yuba City. Don't remember it. Know it snowed on that day.
Hmm.
Because my
Okay.
mom told me, not because I know. Raised sort of back and forth Pacific Northwest, Washington, between Washington and California. Finally landed, I think, for the longest time in Orville for 4 years of high school. And so when I do tell people, or they ask sort of I guess where they associate I'm from, I think the town I was longest in is Oroville, so that's what I'd probably
Mhm.
say is Oroville, California.
Yeah, if somebody asked me
What
where you're
about you?
from, I'd say Orville.
Oh, thanks. Okay, well. So, where are you from? You were from our big,
Yeah, so
our ugly, our freaking, yeah, our bully to the north. If you're from Oroville, you know that
Aaron,
growing up in Oroville, these
are
guys
you
always look down on us.
uploading? Are you? I think you're uploading a massive file because you cut out and now you're reconnecting.
Oh no, it says trying to
your
reconnect.
your voice is good.
Oh, I
It's all
think it's
right. You're
still
back.
maintaining.
You can
I'm
see
back. It's still
this
maintaining.
is perfect.
So it's still recorded.
It's
It just cut
fine.
out.
This is perfect.
Okay.
I
Here's the
like
problem.
it. I say leave it
Okay.
because this is
I remember dial up, dude.
okay.
So this is way better than dial up.
So
I'm super happy. So where are you from?
okay. Yeah, so I'm from Chico, California, which is literally uh, 30 minutes. Well, the north
20?
end of Chico, where I'm from, is okay.
Oh,
Fine.
yeah,
So Oroville is due south of Chico on Highway 99, and
in
yeah.
California. For
So
most of you
Chico,
who don't know, we're in California
California,
also. Well, I'm in
Yuba
California, Nate,
City
you're in
falls into
Utah.
the same state.
Yeah, that's true.
Sure. So born in Chico, born at Enloe Hospital, 1975. I did not leave Chico until I was 19. So I'm very familiar with Chico, love it very much, and visit often as possible. But yeah, but Aaron, you and I did not know each other until after high school.
Yeah, it would have been after it would have been start of college-ish, you know,
Mm-hmm.
like those
In
days.
our low 20s. Yep.
That's where we met. Yeah, low 20s. That's what they're called.
Yep.
Yeah, we there are four of us to a apartment, right, where we met, and I'm not sure how I got into the mix. I just needed a cheap place to rent, and I think a room was open.
You were there first.
Or was I? Okay. Oh, I was there with Shane and
Mm-hmm.
those dudes. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so I was there first. I think they all moved out and eventually did something else. Um, and yeah, and I think you and Jake came in and Troy all came in at about the same.
It was me.
Okay.
I came in after. Actually, Jake might have come in after me. Believe it or not.
Okay. So we met there. We met in Chico, going to sort of cool, going to school-ish, college type, vibe. All four of us dudes do a room. Um, yeah, age.
Okay, so I just turned 50 in January, so
Oh,
three
dude,
months
did you
ago.
really? Happy birthday.
Hmm.
Do I not have your birthday?
Thank you very
Oh
much.
my gosh, what's your
No,
birthday?
and that has been noted. It was January 5th, and
Oh my gosh. Is
you
it
don't
really
want to miss my
January 5th?
60th. I'll tell you
Oh
that
my
for
gosh.
real.
Adding it to my notes
Aren't
right
you like
now.
December or something? When are you?
Oh my gosh, the fact you know my month and I didn't know your month at all. I didn't even remember it was January. Yes, I'm December. Do you know my day? Because if
12.
you get that, what? What'd
12.
you say? No, third. Phew. Okay, good. You're just as
I
sort of
feel
as
like
bad as
here's
me.
what we should do.
You got my
Here's what we
month
need
though,
to
which
do.
is awesome.
I feel like there should be in the upper left hand corner of each of these screens. Like so, right now, you would see a one get drawn in the upper left hand corner of my screen because I just got a point.
Points? No, dude, I'm not playing for points. I'll lose. I have no memory of anything. I have like no memory.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, if it's not around me in a circle where I can visually see it, I have like that object permanence thing where
Yeah.
I don't know it's there if you move it, right? Where'd Nate go? Dude, Nate. Yeah,
So,
see?
all
Okay,
right.
so
Moving
age,
on.
what's your age?
50.
Out with it. 50, oh, that's right, 50. 52 here. Okay.
Okay. That's what I
Um,
thought. I knew you were a couple years older.
yeah, so religious background. I mean, we're getting all the meat
Mhm.
stuff here. Religious
Yep.
background.
So,
Go.
LDS.
Okay.
Yep. Latter day Saint. Born and raised. In fact, that's why you and I know each other, is because we
That's
ran in a
true.
lot of the same circles. Mhm.
Yep.
Um, let's see. Okay. You, born and raised LDS. You went on a mission. Where'd you go?
Italy. Italy. Buongiorno. Where'd you
But
go?
which city? I
Oh,
went to
Milan.
Dallas,
I
Texas.
went to the Milan
That's right.
mission. Yeah.
Milan.
Where'd you
That's
go?
right.
Da-
Dallas.
Dallas. That's right. I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember Dallas.
Yeah.
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 Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. So we both
very.
we both served missions for the Mormon Church or LDS Church.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
yeah. So we both that's sort of how we Nate and I got involved and got like to be friends also is I mean, we were both attending church and stuff in the student ward in Chico. Um,
Uh-huh.
yeah. And
Six
we're hanging
six
out there
four.
and stuff. Yes, sir. Yeah. Nate is still very active, right? Is
I
that your
am.
text?
Yeah.
Awesome. So Nate's still very active. I'm not. So there's going to be some interesting discussions, probably. But just so you
And
know, just because we have very similar backgrounds doesn't mean doesn't. It's crazy because we do have very similar backgrounds, and but it doesn't mean we always come to the same conclusions or arrive at the same stuff. And I think it's important, Nate, to like throw that out there that I mean, I don't want people to think we're
yeah.
clones of each other. Like, oh, you guys grew up like this. You had the exact same experiences. You both went on missions. You were both raised this way. It doesn't, I mean, despite all that, I think there's still quite a few differences and stuff that, I mean,
I
you
The
know,
thing is, when you and I met each other, we were different already.
oh,
We
that's
were
true.
already
Yeah,
different. We were
that's
never
true.
exactly the same person.
Yeah,
We
you
had a
listen
lot
to
of
Indigo
different.
Girls. I listen to Guns N' Roses. I mean, that's
There it is.
big,
Yeah.
big change, big
Yeah.
separation right
Yeah.
there.
But I mean, okay, I don't know why I need to see it. I don't know why I won't do
Yeah.
it now.
I don't know
Um,
why yours does that.
so I don't know. So yeah. So I mean, we were different before. We do have a lot of common history, in terms of what we did and how we were raised, and we ended up on missions and came back. And I think at that point things, I don't want to say separated because they really didn't. We just continued to be who we were. We've always had very similar viewpoints on a lot of things, and at the same time, we disagree enough to make have a lot of interesting conversations. But
For sure.
I don't think we disagree on a whole lot in terms of
No, I don't. Yeah,
ideology and
I don't think we do either. Surprisingly, right? Yeah. Um,
yeah.
so what do you do for a living?
Yeah. So I'm a sales engineer. I work for a technical company. I'm not going to mention it because something tells me don't say the name of my company right now. I don't know. Maybe I get fired in the next month. I don't know.
Put on there.
I'll leave that out for now.
Okay,
Anyway,
for
so I
sure.
work for yeah.
What does that
I've
even
worked for a
mean, though?
technical company. What?
What does sales engineer even mean, though?
Yeah. The way I always describe it is a sales engineer is sort of a hybrid. He's a geek. He or she is a geek, but also social enough to be able to interface with people. So I have the ability to translate between a salesperson and a technical person. I help
Oh, so you're like
present
a
technical
okay.
solutions.
So you're like sort of between them, like when the engineers are having a hard time breaking down like engineer speak to
Yeah.
like
So more
me,
like
you step in and help out.
I'm trying to sell a technical solution. And for me to do that, I work with an account executive, so a salesperson. And the two of us pair up and work to sell technology. So they work from the sales side. I tend to work from the technical side, but we both work with the customers.
Okay,
So
for sure.
anyway,
Yeah.
yeah, but it's something I've done the last 7 years. Before that, I had a very technical background with systems administration, and long time ago, I did technical support to kick off my IT career. So, and I think I know pretty well what you've been up to, Aaron. But go ahead and tell me. I'll tell you what. Tell me about your career in the last decade.
Ooh, eek.
Yeah,
It's
or however
transitioned
you
a
want
little.
to.
It's transitioned a little bit.
I know.
Um,
That's why I
I
said
was a
that.
long time. I've been a long time photographer for most of my career. I started out with
Killer
weddings.
photographer.
Yep, mostly shooting my friends' weddings, right? Like we said, we met and we're sort of in like a student ward or like a young person psych group. A lot of people in that young person's group started getting married, and I got a lot of practice photographing weddings on film at that point, back with those guys. And I started as a wedding photographer. I've been doing that for probably 27 or 28 years. And I still work as a photographer, but I transitioned into teaching. So I now teach at Chico State University as a professor, photography, of course, right? I teach sort of what I know. And
Yep.
then yeah, and then I went back to school a little bit to law school, and just to see if I could maybe pass the bar and be an attorney, and that might still be happening. I'm still studying for the bar because it's still a goal of mine to pass it, and I want to sort of pass it you know, just for like a goal, right? A personal goal.
Has your interest in it waned or fallen off at
No,
all? Or
no,
okay,
it's gotten actually more and more. I've become more and more interested as I've seen current events go. I think that law is one of the things that everybody needs to know, and a lot of us are going to have to start knowing in order to like know what like our rights are and stuff. And I think there's going to be people that need to be protected, and I think people are going to know how to not use law in a manipulative way, but just like understand and know the law, so that you know what you're doing.
okay.
So yeah,
So I
so I think
know
I think it's more important now.
this is not the
Yeah.
direction we were trying to go, but I do want
No,
to
I
go down
mean,
this path just a
no,
little
no, and
bit.
I don't even want to go
I
down there
I,
just
I
yet.
but I want to ask you. I want to ask you. So, what kinds of people do you think need protecting?
Ooh, yeah, well, right now I think there's lots of people that need protecting, but I think from what I've seen, at least in my law experience, my limited law experience, and some of the experiences I've had here locally, like in our county, it's people that
Mhm.
really can't afford a good law's expensive. And honestly, when they say like laws for the rich, they sort of mean it. Like if you have a good attorney and you're really wealthy and you can have the best attorneys, you're going to have the best chance of, securing a good success in your favor. And if you have really awful attorneys or attorneys that are just are overworked and don't have time to even look at your case, you don't really have a chance. And you'll get run over by the state or the Fed or the whatever government entity, you're having an issue with, or whatever civil suit you're working on. But dude, honestly, like law is so expensive. It's for people that have like money. And so I would like tend to roll and want to help people that I think need help that don't really have the money to have a great defense, but still deserve one through the Constitution and through how our country is sort of set up. Yeah.
Cool. And and you guys, most of you probably don't know this, but we were supposed to stay within a decade. I'm going to go ahead and go back a little bit further than a decade for Aaron, but this actually falls very well in line with what you did when you were shooting photography for the homeless,
Oh yeah.
for the
Yeah, that
people who are
tracks.
unhomed,
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
because you were kind of giving back to that community something that they could not get for themselves. They could not get nice and flattering pictures. And he took some amazing photographs of people who probably would not have been photographed properly, and just killer artwork of these people. And I think you gave them copies,
I did. Yeah. I
photos of.
mean, I would usually print them on metal and then try to go find them and see if I could give them copies of themselves, so they had images for
That's awesome.
themselves. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
what you're talking about tracks. This is kind of who you are. This makes
Yeah. I
sense to
mean, I
me.
just think, yeah, probably. Yeah. I think it's probably, I mean, I just want to help out people that need, stuff. I mean, that need
Yeah.
stuff that usually, money can buy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Right, dude. So that's what I'm
Okay.
doing now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're in IT, you're tech. I'm in photography, and I mean, there's some tech involved with that. Not as tech as you are, but I mean, more what I call like consumer prosumer tech. Having to use video and photo for stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
um,
You've been quite technical as long as I've known you.
yeah, it's surprising since I mean, I can't like I'm not a math guy or an analytics guy, just a creative dude.
Well,
Um,
okay, so that brings up why don't you tell these folks how you and I got connected to the internet? Do you remember when you and I first brought the internet into our apartment?
Yeah, so and this is going to spawn a discussion for another time, I think,
Okay,
because this is
fair.
going to open a huge. Well, I'm just saying we can broach it right now, but I think it's going to open a huge can of worms. Um, so can of worms being a future episode, but right now, like we got
Right.
together like it was Internet Relay Chat. It was IRC, and it was the first some of this
We
stuff.
did IRC.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, it was the first time of this stuff. Nate and I were around when the internet, quote, the internet as we know it, sort of first started. Like my domain for my website was, I think it was jps.net /a draper because you had to have
Yeah.
your domain name associated with your your whatever it's
I
called,
know.
your internet provider, your
Your
ISP
account or
provider.
your
It was
email or whatever.
yeah, it was JPS.net at the time. But he and I would sit there in HTML code for our our little web pages we're building and stuff, and literally we're coding in HTML in like 97, 96, 97, 98, right around there. Right when
It was
things were
so
still,
hardcore.
yeah, I mean, we were super, yeah, I mean, we were the original, like app people. Like, I mean, we're original, like Jobs and Gates, right? I mean,
You can read about us. You can read about
yeah, I
us.
mean, yeah, we're somewhere. Yeah. So anyway, that's how we sort of started. And we would sit in our rooms next to each other and we wouldn't even go over and talk. I would literally get on my computer and type in, "Hey man, what are you doing?" And he'd be like, he'd probably hear a beep or some kind of notification. And he'd be in his bed, like doing something. He'd get up, go check his computer and type back, "Oh, nothing. What are you doing, man? Hey, do you want to go do this?" And we'd like literally like make plans for the living room, like back and forth through our wall.
We were we were isolating ourselves socially before it was cool.
100%. Yes, we would be. I would be in a dark room that smelled like, middle school Axe, in there with like,
Mm,
candles and stuff, and also like probably dirty laundry, and then Nate would be in
love
his
it.
room, which was super clean and always airy and amazing, and yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we have
Yeah.
differences in opinions on cleaning. I think maybe possibly different standards. Like I know the
Oh,
bathroom up front was.
yeah. It
I know the
was
bathroom up front was always Nate's. Nate was always having an
it
issue with
was
how
three
we.
to 4 years of hell, I think. That's what I recall.
Yeah.
And also that JPS became Mindspring, which became EarthNet.
Oh, that's right.
That's what I
Ear-
remember.
Wait, Earthlink, right?
Earthlink. What did I
Earthlink,
say?
EarthNet.
You're right.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
dude,
yeah, yeah.
so
Earthlink.
wait, what was your biggest pet peeve with the bathroom?
I can't remember.
Oh,
I mean,
good. Well,
I can't
good.
even
I
think
mean,
of
it
what that
didn't
was.
really leave a mark. I'm so
No,
excited. I felt like
no. What I
that was
remember,
traumatizing for you.
it's a memory of a memory, and
Okay,
so
gotcha.
I
You just knew it
remember
was
being
dirty.
very angry with a memory.
Oh, okay. So you don't remember why you're mad. You just know you're mad.
It was very Inception.
Yeah, no, it feels a little bit. Yeah,
Yeah.
it feels a little like that. Okay. Anytime you've
No,
ever,
I. But you
anytime
would
you've
go
ever
through
lost
these
your life.
spurts where you would. I remember you would go through these spurts where you would clean insanely deep in your room. I mean, you would go through like you would take an entire day and you would just kill your room clean. So I I know that it was something you thought about for sure.
Well, yeah, I think that those times were when like somebody was coming over. Like if I
Oh,
was gonna have
okay.
like a date, come over and hang
Yeah,
out or whatever,
yeah, yeah.
and I'd be like, "Oh, dude, this needs to be cleaned up," you know. So I think those were the times that I probably did. I think
Yeah.
that was maybe my motivation. But yeah, so
Okay.
let's get on
Fine.
to like a
Good about
softer topic, easier topic, right?
it.
Like,
Okay.
I mean, when's a time when you felt like you're gonna lose your life?
Ooh.
Ever have a life like
Okay.
almost died or thought you were gonna die experience? And if so, when was that?
Yes. Yeah. So this would be Highway 99,
Ooh,
probably 30 years
that's a good one.
ago.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And this is on the south end of town where there was not 4 lanes of traffic. And I was passing, excuse me, it was on the north side of town. And I think it's still just 2 lanes, if
Yeah,
I
like on the
recall.
way to like Los Molinos.
Los
Like
Molinos,
like
exactly.
Red Bluff going up that way. Yeah.
Yep. And I was young and I misjudged how fast I was going versus how fast the person in front of me was going versus how fast the person coming against us in the other lane was going. And I
Oh, so
decided to
three
pass.
speeds. You screwed up three speeds. Yeah.
I
Those
got one
are
of them right.
which yours?
I knew mine.
Oh,
It was the
yeah,
other
I
two I had
know.
our time with.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Okay. So those two variables put you
So
in danger. Did I mean what
yeah,
happened? Did you?
I mean it's not a big deal. It was just it was the kind of thing where so I'm passing, I've committed, I'm passing, and now I'm so committed to the pass that literally there is no way out of it. Even if I hit my brakes, there wasn't time to avoid the person in front of me. I had to speed up and get in front of the person on my right. And
Jeez.
I did, and it turned out just fine. but it scared me so badly. I pulled over to the side of the road and I just hyperventilated because I
Oh,
realized how close I'd come to really messing things up. I'll give you
yeah.
one more.
Oh, you got
And
several. Okay.
I'll just do two, only two.
No, you're good.
So the other one, and this is again another subject we will not broach. I'm going to touch on it lightly. So I have epilepsy, and
Mm.
I had a seizure while driving when I first moved to Utah,
Oh,
and
dude.
ended up wrecking the Subaru Brat that I drove out here. Maybe you remember the Subaru Brat.
I do remember this. Yep, I do remember the Subaru.
I totaled it. I totaled it. I ran it right into almost a 2 foot curb. I don't know why they're 2 feet on Center Street in Provo, but anyway, it was alarming and
Man.
kind of woke me up as to how fragile I am.
Yeah, I suspect those 2 feet walls are for people having seizures so that you guys hit those and don't
I
hurt
don't
anybody else. I mean,
know.
that's
It's
yeah,
not a
those are
C
cool ones.
ordinance or anything. No, it's just
Jeez.
for rain. It's for rain,
Is it really? Oh
Aaron.
my God.
It's just rain.
Man, those
So
both sound bad. Those both you're driving. So I mean, no wonder why you're scared to drive with me. Because when you
I'm
drive all the
terrified.
time, you get in wrecks. Have
Yeah.
you ever wrecked with
What
me?
about you?
Have you ever wrecked with me?
Well, hold.
So no. So the thing
No.
is you should be more terrified, Nate, than when you drive because your track record's way worse. I'm bad. I'm perfect. We've never gotten a wreck when
Dude,
I've been driving.
no.
You've
That's
always
not
been
how
in a wreck.
statistics work.
You've always been in a wreck when you've driven. So, dude, if I were
You
you, I'd be
are
scared to death to drive, but not with me.
No, you're pulling from a small sampling. You're pulling from a
Two,
small
two
sampling.
for two, dude. You're 2 for 2.
Two, two over
What?
the course of 30 years.
Yeah, but I mean, the two life-threatening things you bring up are both driving things. So, one when you're younger, one a little later. I'm just saying,
Okay.
I see a pattern. I'd be careful. So, my death experience
Huh.
was with
Yeah.
you, and we were out on the coast in it was like Fort Bragg-ish, I think. And we'd gone out there just to hang out or something, but we were climbing. We walked down the beach and we were climbing up to try to get back because we didn't want to walk all the way back when we'd walked, down the beach. We're like, dude, we're not going to walk all the way back. Let's just go up the side of the mountain. What happened was the side of the mountain, the cliffside went like this, and then it went like this. So as we're climbing, we got to like here, and we're like, you went over, and there's a big rock that you'd use to step on to get out of it and get over and crest the top of the hill. And that kicked loose when you were climbing on it, went down over my shoulder behind me, and then I had nothing to get on to like get up and get over it, and I couldn't go back down because I'm like literally hanging off the edge, like hanging off this edge right here. So I have my
I
back.
pulled up the ladder behind me.
He did a little bit, not on purpose, but I mean,
No.
I had my camera, I had my big Hasselblad medium
Mhm.
format like film camera in my backpack, and it was literally pulling
Yep.
me back a little bit while I'm trying to cling to life. And I swear, all the sharp stuff that I was feeling in my fingers, and like just the wind whipping around me, and looking down and seeing the beach below and the rocks. I literally had like a panic attack for the first time in my entire life. I think it was like 26 maybe or something ever. I've never experienced like a freezing like that, and I couldn't even move or couldn't do anything. I just sat there clinging on the side of the thing, thinking that if I moved wrong, I'd literally fall off backwards. And then, I mean, I finally screwed up and grabbed stuff and got on top of it and was able to like throw my chest over the edge and whatever. But you were really freaked out. Like you were at the top, like telling me, like coaching me and giving me advice and saying, dude, you could do it. Just grab here, do this. And you'd already
I
made
think
it.
if I remember right, it was
And you
like all of a
couldn't give
sudden
me
there was
your
like a.
hand either. I don't know if you
I
did.
didn't pull you up to safety.
I don't think it went
I
like
don't think
that.
you did.
No, I don't think it did.
Honestly,
No,
I don't
you were
remember
like
any of
you were
this.
scared to death too, like thinking I was gonna fall off. Because then what would you have done if I fell and I was like laying down there dying? You'd have to come back
I'd
down
have
the
to
hill
check
or
and see
go
if
get
your house
help.
of blood was any good anymore.
Well, yeah, you'd put that up for sale immediately, eBay. But no, I mean, like that's super scary. So that was one of the first times
Dang,
I've
I don't
ever been
remember
really
that.
scared. Dude, that was super scary, man. Like
Hmm.
I've told that story many times to people, like that was one of the only times I've ever been that scared in my life where I thought actually I was gonna, die. Yeah.
Man, that's
So
crazy. Now,
okay, so
so I
dude,
just want to explain something
we're
really
almost at
fast.
30 minutes. We've almost
Are
been
we
talking for
really?
30 minutes. Yeah, we remember we were going to say this was like a 15-minute intro thing.
Are people are already like they logged off 20 minutes ago?
Dude, they logged off in like 2 minutes. Like, so, I mean, I
Yeah.
don't think anybody's staying for the end of this. So I say we discuss like, um, okay, I think lastly, like to sort of just at least get to like a feeling of how we're going to run this, right? Like lightning round, I'm just going to throw a question at you that you're not prepared for, right? And
Okay.
this will
Bring it.
represent sort of the end of our discussion. Sometimes it's just sort of like a thing that neither of us are prepared for. What is something you do that irritates the heck out of your wife?
Ooh. Um, I can sit in silence forever and be completely content.
Wait, and that irritates her?
I'm totally content.
Wait, that irritates her?
I can sit. Well, it's not that it irritates her, except that she's more like you, where she's got to be doing something. Things have to be going
Oh,
on,
yeah.
and she's very she's looking for the next thing to do. Where I could just sit and stare off into space for forever,
Okay.
and
Okay.
and that's not a big deal. Except sometimes it's a big deal.
Yeah, but when's that a big deal though?
I don't know when I'm sitting staring off into space, and she wants to go somewhere, movie or something. I don't know.
Trying to get your
I don't know.
attention, you're
Hey,
staring off outside.
I'm doing the best I can for a lightning round.
No, yeah, that's great. Good job. Good
Yeah.
job. That's
Okay.
what that's my mom always says that. That's like the literal shutdown for my dad whenever he's trying to help like have her do something. She'll literally just come back with, "Kirk, I'm doing the best that I can." And that's it.
Pretty good.
What can you do when somebody tells you they're doing their best? Do better. I mean,
You can't say do better.
no,
You can't
because it's
say
already their
that.
best.
Yeah.
Yes, she
They've
does
already
that.
peaked.
My mom does that all the time. That's her
Yeah.
go-to. I'm doing the best I can. Okay, discussion over.
Wow.
I know. I know.
Okay. All right. 1995. What's your favorite local radio station?
95? Gosh, what was it? It's probably been like the 80s, 90s, like the pop hits, right? I mean,
So
it was like, what was it?
that would have been like 96.7 KFM.
I think
I'm
that's
just
what
trying
it
to remember
got.
local radio. Yeah.
Oh, dude. Okay. Well, the one I grew up with was Quad 106 out of Sacramento.
Oh,
They'd always come on
okay.
and be like, I think that was Marysville, but I mean, when we were like making mixtapes and stuff with like cassette players, and you're trying to like get like just after they would shut up and stop talking into the song so you get the whole thing, they literally
Right.
Quad 106, like that, and then they'd start,
Yeah.
and you'd miss the first part of Africa, or whatever you're trying to
Yeah.
record.
Right.
So
I
yeah.
used to record all of Casey Kasem's top 40 countdown on Sundays.
Oh yes, yes. Okay, so I remember that, dude. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah. All
Okay,
right.
so
Yeah.
next week, I mean, do we even need to talk about what we're going to talk next week? Because I think this is the bio, right? Who cares?
Yeah.
We'll just drop next week's. Like I don't think we need to like talk about it and go next week is upcoming this. I think we're good. We've introduced ourselves a little bit, and I think we can sign off and stuff. And we'll see you guys on another episode. I hope you enjoy our episodes. Unless Nate, I mean, what do you think? You got something you think we should talk about more, or
I think it should be controversial and upsetting.
okay? I mean, we're going to go for upsetting and controversial. Probably do
Yeah.
more positive than you think. So yeah, we will see you guys at some point on our channel watching episodes. If you're watching this and just don't judge us, right? We're just two dudes. This is our first time out the gate. It's our first recording. We're just trying to see what this looks and feels like, and we're just trying to
We're
like, yeah, talk as friends and let you guys in on it a little bit. So
we're doing the best we can.
yes, as my mom would say, we're doing the best we can. Okay,
Calm down.
perfect. Okay, I think that's it.
All right. We'll do it.
Uh, okay, you ready?
Well, why is it so dark? Oh, because the sun's gone. The sun's
The
gone.
sun's gone.
Oh, so the answer is no. Sorry.